Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, D-O-T-T-L-E-Y. This is the Ninjas of Another podcast. Ninjas of Another Color podcast is Sunday, April 16th. We are coming to you live from Earth. First things first. Want to shout out to all those people who download and listen from Ashburn, Virginia, San Jose, California, Boardman, Washington, Dallas, Texas, or Dallas, Georgia. Greatly appreciate you. Frankfurt, Germany, Snellville, Georgia, West Palm Beach, Florida, Charlotte, North Carolina. We got Guyana, we got Mexico, we got San Francisco, San Antonio, Norcross, Mountain City, Wichita, Miami, Austin, Phoenix, Houston, Greenville, Bridgeport, Stratford, Boston, Houston, Seattle, Denver, Birmingham, got Columbia, Grenada, Herman. We even got places in China. I do appreciate, so tell a friend to tell a friend so we can expand. Alright, I am your host, D-O-T-T-L-E-Y, the real ninja. This is Ninja of Another Color podcast. We are bringing to you pop culture and current events, sports that may interest you. We are found on most platforms, so rate us, review us, subscribe, comment, give us 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars. Give us any stars. If you don't give us any stars, I will assume I'm doing it correctly. We are available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcast, Pandora, and Google Podcast, TuneIn, and yes, we're still working on, yes, you know it, Apple. Alright, first up, the Atlanta Braves are 12-4, back-to-back sweeps, and leading the NL in wins. Who is the MVP? We have about 4 people we can say. Shane Murphy, Austin Riley, Matt, or my favorite, Ronald Acuna Jr., who is going to be the NL MVP if no one gets hurt. So let's get into it.
Guys, maybe pitch inside a little bit, knock him off the plate some and then set up that little sweeper away. It's the Braves. He's made 11 starts. And that is swung on and missed. Good start right there. Go ahead and trick him.
Line drive to center, and that'll drop in off the bat of Austin Riley for a 2-out hit. And he waits a 1-2 here, and he goes down. It's another strikeout for Greinke. But now he has 2,895 in his illustrious career. On the mound is Kyle Wright. He went 3 innings in his season debut Tuesday against the Reds, his second start here today. And the 1-2 from Wright, and he got Melendez. Very good start here for the right-hander.
That's 3 really impressive curveballs in this cold weather to start off this game. Nick Green did a feature in spring training where Kyle talked about the velocity of that curveball. And Rosario is number 995. It's off the end of the bat. 2 hops to third, and Matt Duffy throws him out. And down goes the Braves in order.
A lot of success against both he and Singer, the 2 starters so far. And here, Sam Hilliard with a good eye will trot down to first base, and the Braves have speed aboard to start the third. Hard hit, and that gets by Duffy. Hilliard took a big turn at second, but he will hold. And the Braves have something going in the third. Hard hit to right. Will it hang in the air? No, it gets by Olivas. All the way to the wall. The only question is, will Olsen make it all the way in? He will not. He gets to third. That's good enough to make it 2-0 Braves.
Yeah, but just a tough read. Tried to get the short hop, and it goes all the way to the wall. There was no stopping Acuna at that stage. And I would have thought Matty might have tried to get the inside the park home run, but held up by Washington.
Here's Austin Riley with the infield in, and he strikes one high in the air, deep right center field, up for the win. His bullet, and Oliveros from back there. Oliveros makes the catch, landing deep enough to drive in Matt Olson. Sack fly from Austin Riley, and it's 3-0 Atlanta.
Fee and Lopez are coming up. Rounded up the middle and into center. Kyle Wright had retired the first 6 Royals. Now Reyes is on to begin the third.
0-2 again. Duffy bounces it toward the right side, through the vacated hole and into right field. Reyes over to second, Duffy on at first. Lopez shows bunt, drops it down, goes right back to right. He picks it up, thought about third. Nobody was covering. He throws to first, it's wide, and Olsen had to come off the bag to glove it. Everybody's safe.
From the stretch to 1-2, Weekly tapped. Could be two, but Whip runs really well. Got him!
And Vinny takes ball 4 to load him up for Salvi. Back-to-back walks after the double play.
Here in the bottom half, they are loaded, 2 outs. Ground ball to third, Riley has it. Low throw, good scoop at first by Olsen. Ozzie Albies into the jet stream and out of here. Solo homer for Ozzie. And Atlanta gets that run right back. It's 4-1.
Got a little bit of wind help on that. He hit it hard. It was a curveball down, and he got his 35 inches of lumber on that and sent it over the fence.
Load like normal pitches, and it's all about timing.
And he got Olivares to chase. Second time that he struck him out today swinging. Playing perfectly is Grissom. Low throw, but again Olsen over there. Cookie Monster just gobbling everything up. 1-1 pitch. Grounder to Albies. Albies reaches down, grabs it, throws on to Olsen, and Kyle Wright settles back in. Another 1-2-3 inning.
For that, when he came up in Oakland, his radar gun was hitting 96, 97, but now Zach has turned into a young Greg Maddux. I mean, he's just carving people up as he did there with young Chadwick Trump, 2 strikeouts.
Ronald, that one kind of found his back. Duffy, low throw, and Pasquantino cannot handle it. We have seen with this weather a couple of errant throws toward the first base bag, and Ronald reaches.
And hopefully these are learning experiences. And close at first, Paul Hoover goes running to the phone in the Royals dugout. Thinks he's out. The Royals will challenge.
Oh, yeah. And there goes Zach again, evolving, 39 years old, still getting better. Still, look at that snap throw down to first base. Vinny slapping that leather on him.
Not even close.
Not even close. Great athlete.
Field is overturned.
23rd career pickoff. I love it. 1-2 pitch. Adams swinging. Good curveball. Curveball like that, you can see why he's been the best pitcher on every team he's been on.
His 80th pitch of the afternoon is lifted in the air to left center. Eddie's back. Eddie's on the track, and Eddie has it. And that'll end the 5th. Braves on top 4-1.
Back to all-star caliber players. The pitch. Curveball inside. Murphy checked his swing, went around. Strike 3. The pitch. Fastball bounced softly to the right side. Lopez to his right, scoops it up, throws across his body on the run to first, in time to get Rosario, and that ends the inning. Zach Greinke sets the Braves down in order. He's got 6 strikeouts through 6 innings. 2-2. Line to right center field, down for a base hit. Hilliard plays it on a hop. 1-out single for Salvador Perez.
There he got him. 3 strikeouts for Olivares. All 3 times Wright got him swinging.
Pick up the rotation. Isbell has a good swing and hits it to left. He's hit in 5 straight. And the Royals have 2 on with 2 out.
All right, he takes the ball from Kyle, and he will go to the bullpen.
Michael Tonkin is out of the pen with 2 down and 2 on. And Kyle Wright exiting. And the batter's Franmil Reyes.
Reyes hits a ground ball to left field for a base hit. Here's Salvi around third to score. It is 4-2 with 2 on and 2 out. That's Reyes' second hit of the day.
The pitch. Lopez drives it toward right field and hangs up for Acuna, then drops in front of him. A base hit for Nicky Lopez.
On the ground to third. Riley out at second. Albies to first is not in time. Junior runs and Vinny hits it deep to right field. Hooking into the corner. Gone for a game-tying home run.
Sasquatch has a little different strut to him there.
Oh man, not just a little cement mixer like Monty likes to call it. This little spinner that just stayed right there for him. And he begins his day with a strikeout.
Rio pitch. He does have the green light, and it's a good thing that he does. Extra bases for Ronald Acuna. He does try for third. And he's going to swipe it easily.
And there's 26, and that's a big one with a runner at third.
He missed. Riley walked. So it will be Sean Murphy coming to the plate.
Here is the 2-2. Strike three call, and there it was. Perfect pitch, inside corner. Just above the knee.
0-1 to right center. Acuna racing back, reaches up and makes a catch. What can he not do?
I've yet to find that out, I'll be honest.
Ozzie to right center, and pretty well struck. It's off the wall. As his bell went crashing into that wall, it's a double for Ozzie. He missed the homer, and Barlow, his pitch is laced down the right field line and past the diving Pasquantino, and Atlanta is back in front. The 22-year-old babyface assassin strikes with a sniper down the right field line, and Atlanta's on top 5-4. Two down to the 2-2. He struck him out. 6 in a row. Back-to-back sweeps, and the Braves will go streaking to San Diego with a 12-4 record.
Yep, the Braves are 12-4. Swept the Reds and then swept the Royals. Like I said, Ronald is probably in the running for NL MVP, and the lineup is not fully intact. Michael Harris is still on the DL. They called up Grissom, so he might be in that spot for the rest of the year, because I don't think if he doesn't, because he only made a mistake the other day, but if he hits and plays well, he's not going to get out the lineup. I have no problem with him being starting shortstop, because they want to give it to him or the other guy. They wanted to give it to the other guy, but he's at AAA. That's a fine. And I think they're going to trade him for another piece. And right now they're going to go to San Diego starting Monday. And they have Max Fried will be back. Yep, Max Fried will be back. Iglesias is still on the DL. Minter is still on the DL. Not Minter. Matzik's still on the DL. Who else is on the DL from the pitching staff? McEwen is still on the DL. The team's not together yet, so they're going to make noise. They're going to win the East. And they have the Padres without without El Nino. So, to answer your question, I think Ronald Acuna Jr. is the team, he's the leading candidate for the NL MVP, but the team MVP is Sean Murphy, because Dono is on a concussion. I don't think he'll come back just yet. Alright, moving forward. Okay, this has been highly debated all week. The Falcons have the 8th pick of the draft, and I think they should pick best player available versus player of need, because they signed a lot of defensive players, because they did sign Bud Dupree on a prove-it deal, and I really think they should get BJ from Texas. If they don't get PJ, get a defensive tackle, but he should be their number one option if he's still available. The best player available should be taken, but let's check this out.
Bud Dupree. Atlanta will have another significant opportunity to add to its roster in the upcoming draft, where the Falcons, as you see there on the big board, have the 8th overall pick. Phil, lots of offseason changes and additions for the Falcons.
Yeah.
Looks like they're trying to really build something. How do you evaluate what they're doing?
Okay, I want to start by saying it's incomplete. Like, I'm not going to confuse them for the 2000 Ravens right now defensively, but what I will say is that this team on both sides of the ball, other than perhaps quarterback play, I thought has punched above its weight in the 2 years with Arthur Smith as the head coach. Defensively, they're going to have a new coordinator, Ryan Nielsen, who shows up from New Orleans. But I think they've gotten better clearly at all 3 levels defensively, and what I think they have lacked over the past couple of seasons is splash plays. Sacks, interceptions, field-flipping plays that set their offense up in better position. I think this offseason, they've come close to checking off most of the boxes I think you can reasonably expect By the way, it's the first time they have cap space in a while, too, which has been very nice for their GM, Terry Funk.
Those pieces that they added bring quarterback into play, though, at number 8 in this draft.
Maybe do they?
Because it's a healthier roster. I see Atlanta the same way I see Seattle and Detroit. You don't have to be aggressive, but you could be intentional. There's that, and I like Desmond Ridder. And if they want to build around Desmond Ridder, I could sit here and have that conversation. But if Will Levis falls, or if C.J. Stroud or Anthony Richardson fall to that 8th spot, and because this roster is healthier, if you're Arthur Smith, who I think universally we believe very highly of, he's a very good coach. It's hard to sit there and go, we're going to roll the dice because we have a healthier roster with Ridder, rather than, my goodness, C.J. Stroud is there. Or, my goodness, Anthony Richardson with Arthur Smith there. Because of those additions, while they're not world beaters, it brings into the question, if they fall, do we pounce?
Yeah, I agree with Dan. If the opportunity is there, it makes a lot of sense. But if it's not, and there's a good chance it won't be with the way things are going with quarterbacks, there's a real opportunity to get a premium defensive player with pick 8. And I would love that because I think this is a unit that has real opportunity to make one of the biggest leaps in the NFL this season, not just because of the additions in personnel. We laid them out earlier, with Onyemata, Ellis, Campbell, and now Dupree up front, and Jesse Bates in the back end. But I'm also really excited about the hire of Ryan Nielsen, which Field mentioned. He was the defensive line coach in New Orleans, seen around the league as a rising star. And I think he's going to bring with him a change in identity. What we know about Ryan Nielsen coming from the Saints, or what we can presume, they're probably not going to blitz very much. The Saints blitzed at the 3rd lowest rate in the NFL. You're probably going to see more man coverage. The Saints played 3rd most man coverage in the league. He's going to try to stop the run with light boxes, which is something I've heard him talk about. All of their signings viewed through that lens make a ton of sense. But if you were to drop in one of those top corners or edge rushers into the mix, I'm going to be really excited to see what this defense can do.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I think riding with Desmond Ridder is a bold strategy, but as you guys pointed out, they've really backloaded this roster around him so that he doesn't have to carry this team. And so if C.J. Stroud drops to 8, sure, draft him. But if he doesn't, you're going to be okay. And I think Ryan Nielsen is a great person to point out because of what he did developing Trey Hendrickson when they were both in New Orleans. And so you could look at someone like Tyree Wilson coming out of Texas Tech, Miles Murphy coming out of Clemson, or Lucas Van Ness coming out of Iowa. All those guys have the length, they have the power, which is really similar to what Hendrickson was coming out of college. So I can see Nielsen looking at one of those guys at 8 and saying, hey, let me have that guy, and I can turn him into something special.
Son! Oh, sorry. The only pushback I have on that is this. Carolina's going to get a guy. Carolina's going to have a dude, and I think it's going to be Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Derek's okay in New Orleans. Tampa's got question marks. Atlanta, you can't sit and just be left behind. I like Desmond. I do. But if there's the chance, you got to go roll the dice on it.
Don't become Indy, where you keep bypassing the opportunity to take a quarterback.
When you know Carolina's going to get into their eyes the best.
Come on, Atlanta, do it. By the way, in his latest mock, Mel Kiper Jr. has the Falcons taking Georgia outside linebacker Nolan Smith with the 8th pick. One of my favorite players in college football, and he would be a guy that 2 weeks away.
No, not Nolan Smith. No, he's too small. Like I said, the Falcons are poised to hopefully make a move because they have the second easiest schedule in 2023. 5 easiest schedules: the Saints, the Falcons, the Panthers, the Colts, and the Bears. 5 toughest: Dolphins, Raiders, Chiefs, Bills, Patriots. So, if we can take advantage of the weakness of the schedule on paper, we should be able to do something. Again, I say if Jalen Carter or Bijan Robinson is available, we take him. Take the best player available. I don't think Carter will be there. I think the Lions will probably take him, or someone ahead of us will take him. But if he is available, you take Carter. If not, Robinson. Take a running back. Don't bet on the fact last year you struck gold with a running back in the 3rd round. That usually doesn't happen. Lightning usually doesn't strike twice. And go against conventional wisdom and get the best player available. It is 9:40 p.m. on a Sunday. NBA basketball currently right now. The Clippers are leading the Suns 63-58 in the third quarter. And yes, this weekend the NBA playoffs started. And yes, the Knicks took game 1 from the Cavaliers. And yes, I predicted that the Knicks will win in 5. I think they'll win in 5. The Knicks are too deep. And also from an earlier game today, Giannis is hurt and Tyler Hero is hurt. So injuries might be a factor in this playoffs. But let's get the 4-1-1.
The New York Knicks have just beaten the Cavaliers 101-97, despite a very big performance from Donovan Mitchell. We have been doing the best we can to keep an eye on it here. The game was on ESPN. The Knicks winning their first series opening game on the road since 1999. Stephen A. Smith reaction.
Jalen Brunson showed up in the second half, balled out, the ball was in his hands. Cedi Osman, for some reason, JB Bickerstaff thought this man could guard Jalen Brunson one-on-one, didn't send him much help, and Brunson abused him. That's number 1. Number 2, what I also love is that obviously Donovan Mitchell went berserk. He had about 38, but you need more than that if you're going to beat the New York Knicks, if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers. It wasn't enough today. And Josh Hart, I'll give him love. Make some big plays, no doubt about it. I give him love. Brunson finished with 27 on 11 of 24 new shooting. Knicks up 1-0, baby, in this series. Knicks. New York, stand up. New York, stand up. Yeah.
Gonna go bing bong next?
No, I'll never do that. That was corny. That's corny.
You did say earlier you expected this to be the first real battle that we would get. We had easy wins earlier today from Philadelphia and Boston. This really is going to be a dogfight, and it is the Knicks who steal home court advantage in game 1.
Yes, the whole series I expect to be like this. I love Jalen's point about the game 1s and how you feel if you lose it, depending on what's in you, what you have to hold on to. And so, this next game, this is not a shock to me that that's why I said Knicks in 6. I thought the Knicks could steal a game early on, but it's still going to go back and forth. Probably going to be some more home court losses. But for Golden State, they got to get one. And so my bet is it's game 7. Can you imagine the feelings going into a game 7 there in Northern California between those two communities and those two franchises, if that's 3-3?
They're right around 90 miles apart. Quick thought on the Knicks and Cavaliers game 1.
The Knicks played with hustle and with toughness. Yes, Randle and Brunson and Hart made some big shots, but the bigs in particular, Allen and Mobley, looked like they were running on ice skates and had grease on their fingers. Like literally, they missing balls, missing layups. They look almost intimidated by the toughness.
A little bit nervous. It's perfectly understandable. You understand? And by the way, I'm not ruling out a loss in game 2 either. Let's get greedy. Don't hold out now. You got them reeling. Let them step up. They got to come to the garden eventually. New York, stand up. New York, stand up. Yeah.
Let's go to Sacramento, Mark.
Yeah, New York, stand up. Yeah, they did their thing. I still think Randle should be traded, but let's get some more insight.
On to win this game, thanks to an offensive rebound from Julius Randle. The Knicks were up by 2 with about 10 seconds to play. Jalen Brunson misses a shot. Randle gets the rebound. Cleveland forced to foul. Quentin Grimes, the star from Houston, hits both of his free throws to seal the game. 101-97 the final. Cavs went on a 9-0 run to end the fourth quarter, but they could not put it away in the end because of the offensive rebounds by the New York Knicks. They out-rebounded the Cavs on the offensive glass 17-11, and that was a critical one there from Julius Randle, who made his return to the floor after dealing with a sprained left ankle, missed the last 5 games of the regular season. He comes back, has a huge first half, 16 in the first half, just 3 in the second, but most importantly, his 10th rebound of the game helped seal the game for the Knicks, 101-97. Jalen Brunson got into some foul trouble in the first half. He finished with 27 points, 12 of them coming in the third quarter. Donovan Mitchell did everything he could. 38 points this one. He's diving on the floor, getting loose balls,
assisting teammates. You see the 8 assists there, 3 steals. This is the best defensive team in the NBA, and they give up 101 points, which is not too bad to the Knicks. But Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, Josh Hart coming off the bench, goes for a double-double, 17 points, 10 rebounds, and the Knicks take a nail-biter, 101-97. Let's break it down. Welcome former NBA Coach of the Year, Avery Johnson, as a player helped the Spurs win an NBA championship in 1999. Avery, what a game in Cleveland, and we expected this series to be a knockout slugfest, and Game 1 was exactly what we expected.
Yeah, this was one of my top 2 series, along with the Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Clippers to start, and man, they put on the show. Both teams played, they were up and down. It was real cyclical, as the game went on, a lot of ebbs and flows, and that's what happens during the course of a game. You got to know how to ride the down cycles and be prepared to sustain the up cycles. But give the Knicks credit, and specifically the New York Knicks bench. Sure, Jalen Brunson made some key shots down at the end of the game, and Julius Randle, he played well, especially coming back from that ankle injury and missing 5 games. But that bench was incredible for the Knicks. They outscored Cleveland 37-14, and Josh Hart, critical 3 at the end of a shot clock, a 9-1-1 situation, knocks down a 3. Hartenstein gets a tip offensive rebound. You look at those guys. Obi Toppin had 9 points in 14 minutes. The Knicks bench was extraordinary tonight, and that's one of the reasons why they now have taken home court advantage back from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Well, I want to shine the spotlight, too, on a couple of offensive possessions where offensive rebounds were huge. I mean, critical. At about the 8-minute mark, the Knicks miss a couple of shots, and they get a couple of offensive rebounds, and it leads to a Mitchell Robinson dunk. At that point, it's a 10-point lead, and they're really stamping their superiority in this game. And then you saw with a 2-point lead in the final seconds, Jalen Brunson misses a shot, and Julius Randle gets an offensive rebound. I mean, Coach, this was fantastic to see. What did you see from the Knicks able to dominate here on the offensive glass? Yeah, when C. Osman is in the game, obviously they think for some reason he can defend Jalen Brunson. They may have to rethink that strategy. But I believe Isaac Okoro, defensively he helps him, but offensively it's a major struggle. And a lot of times when those shots went up, the Cavs players, they were just ball watching. They never really made contact with the Knicks. You're going to have to make contact, defend, and rebound, because if you want to give the Knicks second chance points, you're going to be in for a long series. How about the effort, not only from Jalen Brunson, but Julius Randle and Josh Hart, and they get all these additions, right, from their bench. We talk about Josh Hart. We talk about how this Knicks team, and look, this is a team that's trying to win their first playoff series since 2013. Jalen Brunson, his first season with the Knicks, I mean, this is what they signed up for. This is what they wanted from a team, a young team like this, able to go into Cleveland and get a road win. Yeah, and it's their first road win, in 20 years? This team has been putrid. They've been in a difficult situation. And they won a game with Emmanuel Quickly, who's been terrific for them, especially filling in for Jalen Brunson. He struggled off the bench. This guy's capable of exploding for 20 points off the bench. So this bodes well. This is good news for the Knicks. They were able to win this game. Jalen Brunson made some critical plays down the stretch. I'm sure Spike Lee, I'm sure his dinner's going to be at a high level. He'll be at some 5-star restaurant in Cleveland tonight. But the best thing for the Knicks now, man, they can go into game 2 and play free. Wow, they got a free opportunity here to go up potentially 2-0 in this series. All of the pressure is going to be on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And we'll see what adjustment Coach J.B. Bickerstaff makes coming into game 2. I'm hoping that he tweaks his starting lineup, because I don't think Ike Okoro in the starting lineup is going to be beneficial in the long term for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah. The Knicks are up 1-0. Hopefully they can win game 2. If they don't, it's back to Madison Garden. The game 2 is not till Tuesday, and the Knicks should trade Julius Randle in the offseason. Let those young boys play, get a guard and a couple of picks. Alright, moving on. How do you fail upwards? You know how you fail upwards? You buy a team for $800 million and you get it sold for either $6 or $7 billion. Yes. Dan Snyder, the awful owner Dan Snyder, for all those stuff, he is going to get $6 or $7 billion for the Washington Commanders. It's reported that a group with Magic Johnson and the owner of the hockey team put a bid in for $6 billion, but there is a report that a former Duke player put in a bid for $7. Check it out.
And the News at 6 begins with breaking news tonight, once again on the control of the Commanders. Thank you for being here with us at 6 o'clock. I'm Lorenzo Hall. I'm going to bring in our sports director, Darren Haynes, who's been leading the way on this big story from the very beginning. And, D, I understand there's yet another twist in this.
Yeah, so I just obtained documents that say a Washington, D.C. resident is in conversations with the Washington Commanders after placing a $7 billion bid to purchase the team. Now, according to these documents, Brian Davis, the founder of Urban Echo Energy LLC, an energy company, originally placed a bid on March 21st. Now, Davis is a former basketball player for Duke. He won a national championship there. That's him in the middle. All this comes after the Commanders agreed on a non-exclusive $6.05 billion offer from the Josh Harris Group last night. Now, according to a source, after the Harris Group's non-exclusive agreement, Bank of America, the bank Commanders owner Dan Snyder hired to facilitate the sale of the team, spoke with Mr. Davis asking if Mr. Davis's bid could move forward. The source says Davis said yes and confirmed that the Harris Group agreement was not done. We can confirm Brian Davis's financial documents were sent this morning to the Washington Commanders. The documents give a general timeline that says the first $1 billion could be released to Dan Snyder within 24 hours and the rest of the $6 billion in a week. Also, in the letter I saw Brian Davis is willing to indemnify Snyder as a condition of his offer. So what does this all mean? Well, he's willing to take on any legal liability related to Dan Snyder and ongoing investigations into the team. Now, if Dan Snyder accepts, it would set an NFL record for the most expensive sale in global sports history and the NFL's first African-American majority owner. Now, I reached out to the Washington Commanders today. They have no comment on any of this, though.
All right, D, really quickly. So with this said, can the Josh Harris Group come back with another offer? Can we keep driving the price up?
That's where the bidding war gets fun. So, yes, they can now counter that and bid more than $7 billion that Brian Davis is bidding right now. Yes.
They're going to be keeping you busy.
All right. This is how you fail upward, folks. You buy a team for $800 million, and they're gonna give you 7 to 8 for it. 6 to 7, sorry. 6 to 7 for it. It is horrible, but that is America for you. That is America. This global thing called America. All right, this is the Ninja with Another Color podcast. I'm your host, DOTTLEY, aka The Real Ninja. We are broadcasting fine on Sunday, April 6th from the planet Earth. At this time, we are talking about the Atlanta Braves, the Atlanta Falcons, the New York Knicks, and how Daniel Snyder, fine, is failing upward. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. We are available on Spotify, Samsung Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, and we're still working on Apple. You can rate, review, subscribe, comment, all for free at those platforms. So please give us 5 stars, give us 4 stars, give us 3 stars, give us 2 stars, give us any stars. If you don't give us any stars, I will assume I'm doing it correctly. Alright, for our next story, The Mandalorian. Who is the spy? Last week episode 7 was called Spies, plural. Everybody's banking on which spy is it. They showed the one, which was the lady in the New Republic who brain fried Dr. Persian, but the other one is who is the Mandalorian spy. Check it out.
Sir, I'm afraid the pirates have run into trouble on Navarro.
The New Republic will increase their efforts to hunt us down.
There are citizens loyal to the Empire.
And Grand Admiral Thrawn is missing from your delegation. Any word on when he will be able to participate in the you've spoken of his imminent return?
No, that's IG-12 now. It's more like a vehicle.
Bad baby. No, it's crazy.
Maybe when he's older. No, at least let him try it out in my office.
Yes.
No. Hey.
Yes. 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 Yes.
What are you doing? No.
Yes.
Hey.
No.
Give it
No.
Even though the planet is not cursed, there are still dangers.
I will go.
I will go.
They punish us because we refuse to surrender.
I did surrender. I was selfish. And this is what it brought.
We'll rebuild it.
There's too much animosity. And this blade is all I have to unify our people.
These are the reasons I serve you, Lady Grease. I will serve you until it is. You didn't learn that from me. We need to go further down. Go, go, go.
We're Mandalorians.
Okay, kid. You've got to keep up.
Disarm him. And the most impressive improvement is that it has me in it. I will create an army that will bring order to the galaxy, where you return the Darksaber to its rightful owner.
No!
This is the way.
Alright, that is Mando episode 7. We had a Grand Admiral Thrawn mention, cloning, who is the pirates. We saw the Death Troopers, I guess the upgrade. And we found out that Moff Gideon is cloning himself to put him in those suits. That's why he wanted Dr. Pershing's information. Alright, we have episode 8, season finale. Alright, so I forgot. Rest in peace, Vizla, you'll be missed. Rick Fukuyama, he saved the season because the previous week was awful. We have IG-12. IG-12 is just a Krang lookalike that was set up to buy toys. Din proposed to Bo-Katan on the ship. Are we going to see the Mrs. Sword next week? Are we going to see Ahsoka next week? Are we going to see Thrawn next week? Season finale might be see Boba Fett. Yep. Din got captured, so is Grogu going to save Din, or is Din gonna die? Because the speculations that Pablo Pascal he wants to show his face, and the Mandalorian culture is to keep your face on. He want to be a voice actor. It's money because he gets more money if he shows his face versus a voice acting role. This is next week season finale. I think Rick is doing both. He saved the season. Let's see what's gonna happen next week. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready and buckle up for our question of the week. Is signing a prenup a sign that your relationship is doomed to fail, or is it a smart business decision? Check it out.
I don't want a prenup. Yes, I'm not surprised. Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised.
Are you surprised? I think that it's too much going on. If I love you and you love me until death do us part, that's it. Now, why do we need a prenup? Because you already planned it.
I want to start this video by saying something that I've already said in a previous video. This whole thing about signing a prenup is a good thing in my opinion. If you owe a lot of resources and you worked hard to keep those resources and you want to get married, you'd be stupid to not make your spouse sign a prenup, because it's not about trust. Trust is like a mythical thing nowadays, but it's about keeping the resources, businesses, and assets that you worked hard for in your hand before you even been in a relationship with a woman, because that's your stuff and nobody is entitled to take it away from you.
You're really not gonna sign a prenup?
No, I'm not signing no prenup. What you got is what I got.
Okay, but I don't understand, why would you not want to sign? Basically, our love is
your money is my money. Simple as that.
Okay, why are we going straight to the money? It don't have any. All I'm doing is my lawyers are telling me that I have to protect myself, and it's not from you, but it's just.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Everything that you bring in the house, is mine too.
Nah, cause I mean, what did you come with? What did you come with that you deserve? The thing you just don't like? Like, this is for our own protection. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care what you say. It's my money too. Simple as that.
But see, the lawyer said that's what you was gonna do though. They were saying you was not. So what's the point of you not signing the prenup?
The money that you bring home is mine too. Simple as that. End of conversation.
That's crazy. Well, I guess there ain't gonna be no wedding.
It's gonna be a wedding.
Brother, run before your life gets ruined. You can't argue with the definition of entitlement. She is crazy, bro. You better cut ties with her and move on with your life.
Let me see your
Why you gotta curse so much?
Are you laughing?
No, I'm just laughing because you're a little lit.
Do you understand that our wedding is weeks away?
Yeah, we can have the prenup drawn up in less than 7 days. We can reach a mutual agreement, honey. It's not easy.
So you're saying our relationship is a negotiation? Is that what you're saying?
What?
You think everything is...
Blanco, I don't know if you understand that. That in my house...
Oh, everything is business to you?
My mother taught me one thing, but it's never business.
So if your mom is here right now, at this table, your mom is going to tell you that mine and your relationship is a business?
Red flags, and more red flags. I don't want to say what's already been said, but if she starts acting defensive like this, when you bring out the topic of prenups, you got to know that she's after your money. Now, this would be a different story if she was with you and supported you from the start with this business. But it seems like you built that business on your own. You have every right to make her sign a prenup. Simple as that.
Let's get one thing straight, baby. You met me knowing what I was building. I'm a businessman.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'm just... when you met me, I was already doing my thing.
Michael, shut up!
What's the problem?
The last time I checked, when you were running Pure Blanco, I was right behind you guys.
Exactly.
Okay?
You just said behind.
Oh, behind?
Yeah, behind.
Oh, I was behind you guys,
Like
right?
2 years behind. You weren't helping me conduct business.
Oh, I wasn't helping you conduct business? I mean, do not take that. Don't do it to me. Take it. No, I don't give a fuck about the cameras, Michael. I don't care. I bust my ass so hard and you know it. Don't sit here and tell me I did it.
So did I. So did I.
Now this is just getting too much, to be honest. I don't know what type of relationship that they're having. That's why I'm not gonna jump into assumptions. But we can all clearly see the entitlement of this woman. And that's a sign for you, for me, or for anyone to not be in a serious relationship with women like this.
There's no need for this. Let's get to a number.
No, there's no number, Michael. There's no number. Baby, this is not a business. Our life is not a business. Our love is not a business. You want to sit here and tell me that what I went through with you was easy? It was not. I lost my family. I lost everything.
That was then. This is now.
What is wrong with signing a piece of paper and then we're safe? Like if something happens in the future.
Why would I go after your money? I'm content with family. I don't care about money. I don't care about cars. Yeah, it's nice to have in life, but I am not with you for that.
Then what's the problem with signing a piece of paper? Just sign it and let's forget about it.
Yeah, that piece of paper is like a sword in my heart. It means you don't trust me. A prenup to me means that your partner thinks that you're going to take everything if all else fails, which after 5 years of being together and having a son together, Sean should 100% trust me.
I mean, everything's wonderful now, but I've seen what my parents went through. I just don't want to go through the same thing. What's the harm of talking to a lawyer?
To me, it feels like Sean is treating our marriage like another business contract and not like a unity of love and commitment. Okay, I'm not signing anything, and you need to just know that. You want me or you don't. I am not another one of his clients. I'm the love of his life, and he should treat me like that.
Trying to make me not sign a prenup. It definitely makes me a little nervous that you're making a big deal about it. It just seems like you feel some type of way because you weren't entitled to it if we're ever to break up.
Really?
Agreements in marriage.
Do we really gotta go there?
Yes, that's part of marriage. Part of kids, like, that's everything. That's everything in life.
Because you think marriage is a contract. That's what you think.
Yes, it is. We haven't been together all my life, correct? Like, to me, I feel like it'd be different if me and you started when I was 18, going through college, my college sweetheart. Oh, it would be no question. Like, nothing.
So what you're saying is I won't meet you shooting in the gym?
I was gonna be a little more easier. I was. But yes, technically, yes.
I personally don't think that marriages should happen.
So if something were to happen, would you, like, just take the house from me? Would you take the house? Would you take the kids? Would you take the cars?
No, you know I'm not even that type of person.
Right.
So I feel like since you know that I'm not that type of person, what is it going to hurt? We spoke about prenups. Eric thought we should have one. I didn't think we should have one. I'm not against it. It's just wanting Eric to trust me more. What do you fear of?
I think for me, it's from being hurt in the past.
Correct, that's your
people
past.
crossing me, telling me they ain't gonna do this, they'll never do that.
I get it. But when it comes to the financial side of me and you, like I've never fed you the energy of using you or with you because you got this and you got that. Like I've never given you that vibe our whole 4 years. Like I showed you that I really don't need you, money-wise.
Right. So Jessica and I aren't on the same page with prenuptial agreements. If we can't see eye to eye, I don't know what we're gonna do in order for things to move forward. But I know one thing for sure, I'm not going in this marriage without no prenup.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Should you, no matter of monetary, should you put a prenup together, knowing that you can put whatever you want in a prenup, such as if the money you make, the person can get all the money, or more than 50-50, it could be 90-10 or whatever. But does it show a sign of that you don't trust the marriage or a smart business move? Please send us your feedback at ninjasanothercolor@gmail.com. We're also available on Facebook, Twitter, and also TikTok. There you go. TikTok and Instagram. Me personally, if I start with the person, say they were there when I got everything, I would sign a prenup. But I wouldn't say if I started a business and the person was there from the ground up, I'd have said, yeah, no prenup. But if I met this person when I'm fully established, six-figure dude, yeah, I am going to put in the prenup. This is what I put in my prenup. If we decide to go our separate ways, whatever is made from the time we met to the time we disembark, you will get 70% of that. since I'm already made. That's how I would set up my prenup, because you can put anything in there. But that's just me. I'm built differently. Alright, this is Ninjas with Another Color Podcast. I'm your host, DOTTLEY, aka The Real Ninja. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We thank all the people who download and listen whenever we drop it. We are available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, TuneIn. Yes, we're still working on Apple. You can rate us, review us, comment, follow wherever you get your podcast platforms. Give us 5 stars, give us 4 stars, give us 3 stars, give us 2 stars. Give us any stars. If you don't give us any stars, I will just assume I'm doing it perfectly. Alright, today is April 16th, 2023. This is the podcast of today. Please rate, review, subscribe, and follow us back next week. Thank you.